So we're getting ready to go here off the start.
Green, green, green.
And
we're away.
Let's go racing.
Yeah, we're away for the 2019 season of the ANZCAR Cup Series, and Josh Michelmore makes a great start. Danny G goes with him.
Very clean start. A good clean start from everybody by the looks of it, but it's going to start turning into a little bit more of a battle as we start coming through those corners for sure.
Well, with 200 laps here to go, I don't really think you're going to find too many people trying to get too aggressive too early. You'll find a lot of drafting. They'll run the two lanes for a lot of the time, I suspect. And really, it's just going to be getting yourself into that final position in the final, 25-30 lap run. You'll probably get around 35-40 laps out of a set of tyres under green. But the big question for everyone will be, I guess, when will the big one come?
You're getting vibrations, you're constantly getting feedback through there, so your arms start to get tired. And once we start hitting that lap 100, a lot of these drivers are more used to that sort of 100 lap race style. Oh, and somebody's just got into the wall. It looks like Aaron Dillon has just gone into the wall pretty hard.
No yellow at this stage.
I saw Dillon going up into the concrete on the top half of the wall, and Calais behind him, so I don't know if both of those have had a little bit of a touch with each other and that's caused the crash there, but we have remained green, which is really good.
Everybody's coming in, look at them.
And we have got a crash. We've got a crash coming into pit lane. Didn't quite catch who it was. Phil Otto.
Okay, so Josh Michelmore got a great pit stop. He's now jumped his teammate Danny G.
Yeah, Michelmore got a really nice start there. And
Indeed.
It might just be because he did, of course, he did have that first pit lane as well. You're best off just sitting back, waiting for a few moments, getting your breath, watching the driver in front of you as well. And that's something that a lot of the best oval racing drivers do, is they're happy to sit back just in third, fourth place, watching the drivers around them, seeing where their strengths and weaknesses are, because that's something else that can be really important on a track like this. And remaining out is actually Jason Martin and Darren McKenzie. They're going for a longer stint here than everybody else, and we'll see if this pays dividends for them.
Well, they're actually rounding up Michelmore and Sadler right now on the outside. They're running the top line. Martin's just dropping down into the low line, so I'd say he's getting ready to pit. Mackenzie's being held up high by Michelmore, so if he's not careful, he won't be able to get down and get into the pits. Oh, no, here they come now. They're coming in now. Yep. Yeah, he could have got into a lot of trouble then.
We have, and we've got a car that is really struggling out there for grip. Just trying to see who it is, actually. I think he actually went up into the wall and ended up going back down onto the low line and spinning it around. So yes, our first caution's come out on lap 119. Yeah,
well, thing is though, it's right on the mark for everybody to come in. So we will see the entire field pit. Sadler is launching out now. Carol Walden's jumped Sadler in the pit stop.
Fantastic pit stop there.
Didn't he just? He got a good one last time out too.
So let's hopefully get a green flag for the rest of the race.
Well, pace cars come down.
Green flag,
They're now under the control of Carol Walden. And away we go. He's taken off. Obviously they're all following fairly close, but this is where it could get interesting.
Yeah, it looks like Carol Walden got a good start there. We've got a few people further back just falling into their own little packs. But it's worked out really well for people like Ben Doherty. But just a little bit further behind, James Foster has formed up a nice little pack with Matty Kloop and is really gaining on these front runners.
Well, the other thing to think of too, which of these teams and guys have got each other teed up to work together in the draft, right? Before this all started, you'd find some of these teams would have been talking and worked out who's going to help who at various points of the race.
It looks like the high line's working a little bit better than the low line at the moment, and Josh Micklemore's actually jumped out in front of Foster and gotten into the high line, and is using it to his advantage.
There you go, he obviously feels he's got the pace to push ahead, and Dave Douglas is going with him, obviously.
Yeah, it does look like everybody's...
Yes, he wants to lead this race. He wants to break the air for everyone. Look at him, back down in front of Carol Walden, and he just left Dave Douglas there.
And we've got free wide.
Oh, yeah, what could possibly go wrong? And Doherty's having his connection problems again, so that'll be putting a few people off.
Yes, and also looks like possibly Sherlock as well was having some connection issues as well. We had a couple of cars just fade in and out of existence for a few seconds there.
All right, well, let's hope that doesn't come into play, but looks like...
and here we go! Sherlock has just taken out, the whole field has gone through.
We've got our big
that's
one.
A disastrous crash.
We've got our
Danny
big one.
G is really taken a big hit there. Ben Doherty have really been affected heavily by that one. It looks to me
Chris Purnell was up behind Clute. May have just touched the back of Clute. Oh, Purnell's just got a little bit loose as he crossed the line.
Taken out a few of the front runners for this race have taken some serious damage. Gavin Sadler is probably my biggest. It's got a lot of damage visible on him. He's missing the whole front of his car at the moment.
All right, well, pace car's in. We're off again. Led away by Edward Foster, followed by his teammate Dave Douglas. We've still got Michelmore in there in third, dropping to third. Jason Martin's still up there in fifth. He's just up there on the outside of Riley Curtis by the looks of it. So, didn't fare too badly there.
But one thing I just will point out quickly, it looks like James Foster has dropped out. It seems he's dropped off my timing screens and I can't seem to find him anywhere. So that is a big loss for Riley Curtis Design, Blake's Advice Racing. And with one of the middle finger... Oh, and there's a big crash again. One of the Illusion cars has hit a middle finger racing car and gone around, and we've got another caution.
Oh no, it looks like Chris's teammate, Michael Skurlock, may have just tried to give him a bit of a push. Purnell has got into the back of Clute, and around they've all gone. Oh, that's a bit of a shame. They were trying to bump draft by the looks of it, give each other a bit of a push along, and it's all gone wrong. A pace car's rolling off now. Michelmore's leading him away from Curtis, and we're away again. So 48 laps remaining.
So here we go again. So hopefully we can get some nice green flag running right now. So Foster is just blocking his way. He's keeping between Jason Martin and Michelmore, while Riley Curtis and Dave Douglas are sitting on the outside line, trying to push past him at the moment. Relatively very clean restart there, which is good, what we want to see. But now we get into the final parts of this race. Let's see who has the right strategy.
Well, they're all bunched up. They're all going to get racy. They know there's only 47 laps to go. There's going to be a pit stop for fuel at the very least, sometime in the next 40-odd laps. Looks like they're pretty intent on keeping two lines running here as well.
Yes, which kind of makes sense because you want to have those two lines for the finish, of course, because if you can work on two lines at the finish, you might have a chance to pass the leader. Right?
The Mitch Motorsport guys have just pulled up. Carl, sorry to cut you off. Look at this. They've just pulled up in front of the two Illusion cars.
Yeah, here we go.
So this is where everyone's working together now, and everyone's... Oh, bit of lap traffic there. That was very close to taking Mackenzie out, I think.
Yes.
He just had to go up high, and he nearly got into the side of Williams.
Yes. The other problem, of course, is if they do need to get fuel or tyres or anything like that, they have to make it through those three other cars on that low line.
Well, after 175... Oh, Williams into the wall.
Has just gone into the wall, but we are still green by the looks of it.
Well, as long as he doesn't lose control and slip down below the bottom line, we should not go yellow. Hopefully he's hung onto it and he can pick up the speed again. Yeah, he's still there. He's just lost a lot of ground. That's a bit of bad luck for Williams because he was right up there then in contention. Well, 12 laps left to run as they cross the line here. I still think they're going to have to pit, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I just wonder. Darren, and they come in, and the Riley Curtis. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So,
and Foster just got a big hit to the side there by
Roger Clark.
So Clute has just come back on. He's coming back onto the track now. We'll see how much time he's lost. That would be an interesting thing to see.
Well, Laura Martin going round again.
So it's now going to be seeing who can last the longest. the person that was lasting the longest all through the race is Jason Martin. He managed to make that car last an extra 3 to 4 laps over everybody else.
Well,
and Martin is pitting.
Martin's coming down, so is Michelmore, yep.
Yeah, Michelmore and Martin are pitting.
Neither of them seem to have made a mistake, so looks like Martin's got a better run out, but Michelmore's going to stay in front of him.
Now let's see how well this, if they can actually stay in front of the Blokes Advice Racing team. Because Dave Douglas and Edward Foster are running very well together right now. They're running straight next to each other.
Tell you what, I reckon they've just won themselves a race.
It looks like they have got the speed.
Well, they've still got 8 seconds up on Dave Douglas, who's the next car in line.
It looks like Matthew Clute has actually managed to get in front of both of the Riley Curtis Design Blokes Advice Racing team cars there. Yeah, just as we were saying things had settled down, all of a sudden they haven't.
Well, look, at the moment, it's the last lap for the Mitch Motorsport boys. They've got half a lap to go. They're coming down the back stretch for the final time right now. Yeah, looks like Clute's got himself up in a third on the timing charts, but the story today is Josh Michelmore, Mitch Motorsports, debut team, debut win in the ANZCAR Cup Series. Josh Michelmore will cross the line. Looks like to do a formation. He's just crossed the line. Yep, and that's it. So Josh Michelmore just wins the Daytona 500.
And Dave Douglas has just got past. Dave Douglas looks like just to have got past Matthew Clute just to take third place. Photo finish there across the line. He just got through underneath him. Matthew Clute finished fourth, with Edward Foster fifth, Riley Curtis sixth, Roger Clark seventh, eighth is Daniel Stevens, ninth is Darren McKenzie, and Joshua Carroll Walden to round out the top 10.
So, debut team, debut win. Fantastic story, isn't it? You called it the super team at the start of the race, and here we go. Josh is doing his victory burnout. Jason Martin's doing it, doing his second place burnout. But you called them the super team, and I think that's probably going to send a bit of a ripple of fear through the rest of the field, Carl.
They're going to be a team to beat.
You know, on that note, we'll call it a night, and I guess we'll say good night from Performance E-Streaming. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Yeah, anything you'd like to finish with?
Yeah, a big thank you, of course, to Matt Hunter as well. Just doing the broadcast, yeah, of course. And yeah, it's been a long one. Thank you so much for putting up with us. Yeah, no worries. All right, and we'll be back on the 14th of February. It's a Thursday for the second round at Atlanta. So thank you, everyone, and good night. Good night.